What if I told you there's a single position that works for 77% of women? One small shift in how you position yourself that could completely revolutionize her experience in the bedroom. Hi, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Amanda Brooks, urologist with more than 10 years of hands-on experience helping men discover what truly makes a difference. And what I'm about to share is going to change the game for you entirely. Most men go through their entire lives relying on the same handful of approaches. They repeat what feels comfortable, what seems to get the job done. Fair enough. But here's what the scientific evidence actually tells us. There's one particular method, originally created by psychotherapist Edward Eichel back in the 1980s, that in controlled studies boosted satisfaction rates by 56%. 56% from just one straightforward modification. Now, before you assume you already know where I'm headed with this, hold on, because this is not what you're expecting. This has nothing to do with pushing yourself harder or holding on longer or any of that nonsense. This is about genuinely understanding how her body is wired to respond and then aligning yourself to cooperate with that biology rather than working against it. Stay right here with me because everything I'm about to walk you through is supported by decades of clinical research and it delivers real results. Here's what the vast majority of men simply don't grasp, and truthfully, nobody can blame you for it. Everything you ever absorbed about physical connection probably came from films, locker room conversations, or plain old trial and error. No one ever broke down the real science behind why certain approaches produce dramatically better outcomes than others. So let me hand you that science right now. According to published research, only roughly 20% of women are able to reach full satisfaction from conventional movement on its own. That leaves 80% who require something more. And here's the crucial revelation. Most traditional approaches completely fail to deliver what that 80% actually need. They emphasize going deeper and moving faster when study after study proves that isn't what matters most. What truly matters is sustained contact with the external pleasure center, that concentrated area packed with over 8,000 nerve endings. The majority of standard methods generate minimal or zero contact with that zone whatsoever. That's the fundamental problem, and that's precisely what this single technique corrects. But before I reveal exactly what it is, let's address why this is especially significant for men past 50. If you've crossed that milestone, you've likely noticed that intimacy shifts and evolves. Perhaps things don't ignite as instantly as they once did. Perhaps there's mounting pressure to prove yourself. Perhaps you're quietly questioning whether you've still got what it takes. Here's the honest truth. You possess something that younger men simply cannot match: experience, patience, and the genuine willingness to learn what actually produces results. Younger men rush through everything. They fixate on performing. They're convinced that speed and raw intensity are the answers. But the research proves that's completely backward. What most women value, particularly mature women, is a partner who comprehends their rhythm, someone who invests time, someone who prioritizes genuine connection over simply crossing the finish line. And that's exactly where this technique becomes your greatest asset, because it was specifically engineered to maximize her satisfaction, not through greater effort, but through smarter positioning. Now let's get into what this actually is and why it's so remarkably effective. The technique is called the coital alignment technique, or CAT for short. At a quick glance, it resembles the standard face-to-face arrangement. But there's one pivotal difference that transforms the entire experience. Here's the mechanics of it. The male partner shifts his body slightly upward along his partner's body until the base makes direct contact with her external sensitivity zone. Rather than the conventional forward and backward thrusting motion, CAT centers entirely on a vertical rocking rhythm and sustained gentle pressure, redirecting the focus from internal depth to external alignment. Here's the biology behind why this is so powerful. Studies consistently indicate that only about 20% of partners can achieve full satisfaction through typical motion alone. The remaining majority requires some form of external activation to reach completion. The inherent flaw in most positions is that they create physical distance between the bodies, which means virtually no contact with the zone that 80% of women need engaged. CAT eliminates that flaw entirely. By positioning yourself slightly higher and replacing thrusting with a rocking motion, you establish continuous, unbroken contact with her most responsive area. In one study published in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy, women who practiced the CAT technique reported a 56% increase in their satisfaction levels. 56% from one single positional change. And here's what elevates it even further. Both partners sustain their connection by synchronizing their rhythm. The male guides the downward movement, while the female naturally leads the upward one. This coordination cultivates a gradual, building rhythm that allows both bodies to move in harmony, amplifying intensity at a natural pace. That progressive buildup is precisely what creates deeper, more profoundly fulfilling experiences. Now let me walk you through exactly how to execute this. Here's your complete step-by-step guide to the CAT technique. Step 1 is your starting position. Begin in the standard face-to-face arrangement. She's lying on her back. You're positioned above her, facing her directly. Up to this point, everything is completely normal and familiar. Step 2 is the critical adjustment that changes everything. Shift your entire body slightly higher than you normally would. Your chest should roughly line up with her shoulders. This repositioning moves your hips upward so that instead of a straightforward entry angle, the base now rests firmly against her external sensitivity zone. Step 3 is the motion itself. Begin gently, using just the tip for initial guidance. Then allow the rest to settle softly against the external area. Now initiate a rocking motion that travels up and down rather than in and out. This is absolutely not about thrusting. It's entirely about rhythm. Your whole body moves as a single coordinated unit in a slow, deliberate, steady rocking flow. Step 4 is the coordination between partners. The male partner leads the downward motion, while the female partner instinctively responds with the upward one, maintaining light but consistent counterpressure throughout. This generates a natural push-pull rhythm. When you rock downward, she rocks upward. When you rock upward, she rocks downward. You're functioning as a team, producing gentle, continuous contact along her most responsive zone. Step 5 is letting her guide the experience. Take it slowly in the beginning to make sure she's receiving the right level of pressure. Pay close attention to her breathing patterns and how her body reacts. If she's pulling you closer, you're on the right track. If she tenses up, ease back slightly. The essence of CAT isn't flawless execution. It's patience and harmonized movement. You're not putting on a show. You're building a connection. Now, while CAT proves effective for many couples, research reveals another technique that some partners find they prefer even more: the forward-facing woman on top variation. This approach is consistently cited as one of the most enjoyable configurations because it hands her complete control over rhythm, angle, and pace, while naturally stimulating the external sensitivity zone. Why does it work so exceptionally well? When she's positioned on top, she directs everything: the depth, the speed, the exact amount of pressure applied. And since approximately 96% of women need external activation either independently or alongside internal movement to reach completion, this arrangement allows for natural contact and total personal control. She can rock forward and back, creating friction precisely where and exactly how her body needs it. Clinical research confirms this finding. A significantly higher proportion of female satisfaction is associated with face-to-face arrangements where the woman is positioned above. How to make it work for her. When she's on top, the key is not to bounce, but to rock. She should lean slightly forward so her external zone makes contact with his pelvic bone. Then gently rock forward and back, sustaining a smooth, consistent rhythm throughout. For him, your role at the start is beautifully simple. Stay still. Let her discover her pace. Rest your hands on her hips to provide support or gently explore her body, but allow her to command the motion until she locks into her rhythm. Once she's found what works, you can introduce subtle upward movements, syncing with her established pace. She leads, you follow. Now here's the amplifying secret that supercharges both techniques. Whether you're practicing CAT or the woman on top position, one addition can dramatically improve the outcomes: manual activation. Approximately 96% of women benefit from or require direct external attention, either on its own or combined with internal movement. So blending positional adjustments with deliberate, gentle touch produces the most powerful results possible. During CAT, your hands remain free. Use them with purpose. Lightly stimulate her external zone while sustaining the rocking rhythm. The fusion of strategic positioning and targeted touch can produce remarkably intense results. During the woman on top variation, she can accomplish the same through natural body contact, her own fingers, or an external device. If she feels self-conscious about it, offer reassurance. Let her know that watching her experience pleasure is deeply attractive to you. Research from Emory University demonstrates that 7 out of every 10 women require some form of direct external activation to reach completion. This isn't an optional enhancement, it's a fundamental requirement. So integrate it into your intimate routine as a natural element. Whether it's your hand, her hand, or both working together, direct targeted attention combined with synchronized rhythm delivers the most consistently rewarding results. Now let me tell you what to avoid, because these specific mistakes will undermine the effectiveness of both positions. Mistake number 1 is moving too fast. These positions demand patience above all else. Rushing obliterates the rhythm, and without rhythm, the sustained friction that generates satisfaction vanishes entirely. Start at a slow tempo. Build incrementally. Allow the intensity to escalate on its own natural timeline. Mistake number 2 is neglecting to communicate. Every woman's body is unique. What produces incredible results with one partner might fall completely flat with another. Ask her directly, does this pressure feel good? Should I shift higher, lower, quicker, slower? Communication during intimacy isn't awkward. It's absolutely essential. Mistake number 3 is becoming preoccupied with your own finish. The instant you start fixating on your own performance, you disconnect from her responses. And her responses are the compass guiding everything. Remain fully present. Tune into her breathing patterns, the sounds she makes, how her body shifts and moves. Those signals tell you everything you could possibly need to know. Mistake number 4 is abandoning the effort too early. These positions require practice to master. The first attempt might feel clumsy and unfamiliar. That's perfectly normal. Keep at it. The more you practice as a team, the more refined the coordination becomes. And coordination is the engine that makes these positions deliver extraordinary results. Here's what I really need you to internalize. These positions succeed because they're rooted in human biology, not speculation or wishful thinking. Only about 20% of women can achieve satisfaction through conventional intercourse mechanics. The remaining majority need some form of direct external engagement. Both CAT and the woman on top position deliver that engagement by design, not by coincidence. But here's what carries even more weight than the position itself: your mentality. If you approach intimacy as a performance where you're desperate to prove something, you manufacture pressure, and pressure suffocates satisfaction for both of you. But if you approach intimacy as a shared exploration, where you're discovering together, learning together, responding to each other's signals, that's when these positions become genuinely transformative. The objective isn't ticking off a checklist. It's crafting an experience where she feels truly seen, deeply valued, and thoroughly fulfilled. And when you combine these research-validated positions with authentic presence and genuine care, that's the moment everything fundamentally shifts. So here's your action plan for this week. Try CAT first. Don't announce it beforehand. Don't turn it into a production. Simply during your next intimate moment, make that subtle upward adjustment. Initiate the rocking motion. Observe how she responds. Pay attention to the details. Is she drawing you closer? Is her breathing growing deeper and more rhythmic? Those are clear indicators that it's working. The following time, experiment with the woman on top variation. Encourage her to take the reins, to discover the angle and rhythm that resonates with her own body. And during both experiences, incorporate manual stimulation, whether from you or from her. Make it feel organic. Make it flow naturally as part of the experience, rather than something separate. Most importantly, have a conversation afterward. Ask her what felt exceptional, what she'd welcome more of, what she might prefer done differently. That feedback is how you genuinely improve, not through guesswork, but through asking and adapting. Remember this: Exceptional lovers aren't born with some secret knowledge. They learn, they pay attention, they care deeply enough to keep refining their approach. And that's precisely what you're choosing to do right now. Now, here's what I need from you. If this video provided you with practical information you can actually put to use tonight, hit that like button right now. That signal tells the algorithm to push this content to more men who desperately need this knowledge. Then leave a comment below. Tell me, have you experimented with either of these positions before? Which one are you most eager to try? Your comment sparks conversation and reassures other men that they're not alone in wanting to strengthen their intimate connection. And this part is crucial. Subscribe to this channel and switch on notifications, because every single week I release research-backed content specifically created for men over 50 who want to build deeper connection and more satisfying intimate experiences. Share this video. Send it to a friend who could benefit from it, because the more men who understand what genuinely works, the stronger all of our intimate relationships become. Now, if you want to explore advanced variations and techniques that expand on everything you learned today, watch this next video. It covers additional positions, timing strategies, and communication approaches that amplify these results even further. I'm Dr. Amanda Brooks. Remember, gentlemen, satisfaction isn't about exerting more force. It's about understanding biology and aligning yourself with it. Stay curious, stay present, and I'll see you in the next one.